Sandra's life had settled into a dull routine, the same old chores and mundane tasks. But something strange was brewing beneath the surface. Sam, her husband, was not himself anymore. He used to light up their world with his smiles, but now he seemed to be a shadow of his former self. Sandra had a nagging feeling that something was amiss, and her curiosity had gotten the better of her. One evening, driven by the need for answers, Sandra embarked on a mission. She searched for clues in their home, but Sam was a master at hiding secrets. Fortunately, Sandra had a resourceful friend who worked at a phone company, and he had the skills to access Sam's phone account. The messages he discovered were shocking. Sam had been having an affair with a woman called Dorothy, their conversations filled with expressions of love and desire, a stark contrast to how he spoke to Sandra. The discovery cut through Sandra's heart like a knife. Her emotions were a whirlwind of anger, sadness, and disbelief. Her resourceful friend had also succeeded in accessing Dorothy's account, unearthing her address, setting the stage for a dramatic confrontation. The drive to Dorothy's address took Sandra through an affluent neighborhood. The streets were lined with opulent mansions, each one a testament to wealth and luxury. Manicured lawns, elegant gates, and expensive cars painted the picture of a privileged community. As Sandra drove, her mind was racing with a swirl of emotions. She couldn't help but dwell on the thought that it had to be about money. Sam had always been the dreamer, constantly chasing the allure of wealth, hoping to win the lottery someday. Yet he was far from rich, and his appearance didn't exactly fit the profile of a wealthy man. What could a beautiful, rich woman possibly see in him? She asked herself this question over and over. Approaching the impressive mansion, Sandra couldn't shake the sense of insecurity and doubt. It loomed over her as she reached the front door, her heart pounding. She knocked, and a man answered and welcomed her inside, while he went to get Dorothy. Sandra's heart raced as she waited. She had expected a seductive temptress, a young woman, but the sight that greeted her was the opposite. A squeaking noise cut through the silence, drawing her attention. There, to her shock, was an elderly woman, slowly making her way toward her with the aid of a walking frame. The disparity between the opulence of the surroundings and the frailty of the woman seemed surreal. Sandra's mind was going 19 to the dozen, thinking surely this old lady can't be Dorothy. In the presence of the unexpected, Sandra stood in disbelief, momentarily struck dumb. The reality was not matching her preconceived notions. With an air of wisdom about her, sensing Sandra's astonishment, she kindly inquired, "I'm Dorothy, who are you? Can I help you, dear?" Sandra stuttered as she finally managed to introduce herself as Sam's wife. Dorothy's expression shifted, her initial calm giving way to a subtle defensive posture as she asserted, "We are both in love, and we plan to marry." Sandra couldn't contain her incredulity. How could Dorothy not see the true nature of Sam's intentions? In a trembling voice, she mustered the courage to respond, but before she could, Dorothy, sensing what Sandra was going to say, said, "Sweetie, I may be old, but I still have all my faculties. I know he's after my money." She then chuckled, a bittersweet sound that echoed through the room. "I love the intimacy, the attention he gives me. We wine and dine. We have great conversations. He plans to leave you and move in with me. You wouldn't want a man that cheats on you, would you?" Sandra nodded, still reeling from the revelation. Dorothy leaned in, a glint of secrecy in her eyes, and asked, "Can you keep a secret?" Sandra, her curiosity now intertwining with her shock, responded affirmatively. Dorothy unfolded her intricate plan, saying, "I will put off the marriage with excuses, promise him the world. I haven't got much time left, but I want to savor every moment, even if it's all a charade. In the end, he will be left with nothing, and I'm sure you won't have him back. As for my will, I'm giving all the money to my devoted caretakers, the ones who've truly been by my side." Sandra left Dorothy's mansion with a storm of emotions whirling inside her. She had learned of Dorothy's intricate plan, a charade designed to deceive. But it left her with a secret that she chose to keep. She returned home, acting as if nothing had changed, careful to hide her newfound knowledge. Over the course of the following weeks, Sandra started to prepare for the inevitable. She discreetly moved some of her savings and personal belongings to a friend's place, ensuring that they wouldn't be part of the divorce proceedings. She felt a strange mixture of sadness, anger, and determination as she made these secret arrangements. A week later, Sam approached her with the words she had expected. "We're not working out, and we need to get a divorce," he said. That very day he moved out, leaving Sandra with no knowledge of where he had gone. But in truth, she of course already knew. For Dorothy's sake, Sandra decided to slow down the divorce proceedings, allowing the charade to continue. When the divorce was finally finalized, Sandra was already dating other men. 10 months later, Sandra received an unexpected phone call from one of Dorothy's caregivers. The news was stark and cold. Dorothy had passed away. The caregiver explained that they had the reading of the will detailing her final wishes. Sandra's curiosity was piqued. She waited for the caregiver to reveal the contents. It turned out that Sam had received nothing, a shocking revelation that left him bewildered. But the real surprise came when the lawyer announced that Sandra would receive $50,000 for the pain and suffering she had endured throughout the ordeal. Sandra couldn't help but smile as she imagined Sam's face turning pale upon hearing that he got nothing and her name mentioned in the will. She hung up the phone and laughed, looked up and said, "Good on ya, Dorothy." If you enjoyed this story, please subscribe and like. We really would appreciate this. Until next time, bye for now.